Golf Channel presents the 2012 World Club Championship, presented by Golf Magazine. Welcome to Cabo San Lucas, the world-famous resort of fun and adventure located at the tip of the Baja Peninsula, where the waters of the Sea of Cortez join with the Pacific Ocean. 5 miles from downtown Cabo San Lucas is Diamante, a 1,500-acre master-planned community nestled amongst magnificent dunes and overlooking 1.5 miles of Pacific coastline. Diamante, which is the Spanish word for diamond, opened in 2009. 2 years later, it was rated number 58 on Golf Magazine's top 100 courses in the world and the number 1 ranked course in all of Mexico. Hi, I'm Terry Jastro, and welcome to the 2012 World Club Championship. This is an international amateur competition featuring the club champions of the top 20 clubs taken from Golf Magazine's top 100 courses of the world. And working with me is the founder of the World Club Championship and a longtime PGA professional, David Smith. And David, since the beginning of this event 10 years ago, 47 of the great clubs of the world have competed from 17 countries, and yet I think this is the most diversified field we've ever had.
Well, Terry's certainly diversified from the standpoint of age. We've got a 16-year-old young boy here from Otávio Dunes in Portugal. He's only been playing golf 8 years. And we've got a 68-year-old gentleman from Pine Valley, Mr. Bob Lewis, and he's been playing golf for half a century. He's played in 4 Walker Cups. He's captained 2 teams for the Walker Cup, and he's played in the Masters 7 times as an amateur. So think about this poor young lad, and he's seeing Bob Lewis, and he's 8 years ago, he hasn't even seen a set of golf clubs.
In this year's event, we have 20 clubs representing 14 countries, and it's a great honor and privilege that we come here to Diamante, this fabulous golf course designed by Davis Love, ranked number 58 in the world, as we said.
Well, it doesn't get much better than this. I mean, this is a truly magnificent place, and it's got a wonderful golf course. This golf course, a links course, will stand the test of time. We haven't had a lot of wind this week, which I'm sure the players are very happy about, but I see Diamante in the future hosting great amateur championships and professional championships, but I have a sneaking suspicion that one day we will see the President's Cup played here at Diamante. It's a fabulous location. Course can stand the test of time for sure, and I think as an international event as it is, Diamante could be destined to be the host of that tournament.
And now to set the format is Championship Committee Rules Chairman David Bonsall.
The format for this year's World Club Championship are 20 two-man teams playing a 4-ball better ball stroke play qualifier over 36 holes. The top 4 teams go through to match play, semi-final and final. The other 16 teams still compete in a stroke play for the chairman's division, and the prize for that is a return trip to next year's World Club Championship.
Here is a review of the participating clubs continent by continent, starting with Royal Melbourne from Australia.
And the home of the World Club Championship, Nine Bridges in Korea. And our defending champions from South Africa travelled the longest distance this week, and 7 clubs from Europe, newcomers Walton Heath and past champions Royal Portrush from Northern Ireland.
And finally from North America, 9 clubs, including 7 from the United States, 1 from Canada, and our host Diamante from Mexico. We go to the first tee and the opening tee shots from our defending champions at Durban in South Africa.
Sean Fenger leading off for Durban Country Club this week. Sean, 42 years old, fine amateur player.
20 clubs, 40 players, all playing for the J. Lee Trophy, named after our wonderful founding patron. All right, let's make our way to the competition. First hole is a par 5 shorties. This is C.J. Kroll, 3rd shot.
C.J. spends as much time fishing as he does playing golf. He's got a great short game. And that is an eagle on the first hole, so Medina off to a great start, 2 under par after 1 hole.
And back up on the first tee, the youngest player ever in the World Club Championship, 16-year-old Ruben Figueiredo.
And he is really nervous this morning. He comes from a hill farming family in the north of Portugal. He learned the game by hitting rocks into rabbit holes with his shepherd's stick while tending the sheep. And it really parallels the early evolution of the game of golf, and also has similarities to the stories we've heard about Seve Ballesteros playing with his 3-iron on the beaches in Spain.
Good shot, Ruben, just down the right-hand side of the fairway. Well done, sir. We make our way to the 9th hole, long, difficult, uphill, par 4, and Enrique Guzman has this for a birdie.
At Diamante, he's known as Suave Guzman because his smooth golf swing and his smooth sales techniques on the real estate team, and a smooth putt right into the hole for a good birdie.
Forward to the 17th hole, the par 5s at Diamante are fabulous. This is the 3rd at the 17th, John Green from Portmarnock in Ireland.
He almost got up in 2. He's one of the longer hitters this week, and Portmarnock are off to a heck of a good start in the first round of this championship.
And the 18th hole at Diamante is a long dogleg left sweeping par 4. This is Jeff Johnson for Riviera.
Jeff's in commercial real estate. This is not the real estate he wanted to find himself in at Diamante. He's a good chipper of the ball. He's played that very well and into the hole for a birdie. What a recovery for Riviera. Jeff's got the strangest grip you've ever seen on a good player. More than 4 knuckles showing on the left hand, but he's the club champion at Riviera in 2011. His partner this week, Mike Rydell, is 10-time club champion at Riviera.
Playing his second shot at 18, the club champion at Pine Valley, Tristan Lewis, 32 years old. He wins and he selects his father, Bob Lewis, to be his partner. Great story.
Dad's very proud of his son this week. They're having a marvelous time, meeting friends from all around the world. There they are together, striding up the 18th fairway.
And as you've said, Bob Lewis has had great experience in amateur competitions, and we asked him about his experience at the World Club Championship.
I think the way it's organized, it has a feel of the Walker Cup or a World Amateur team that I've played in before because of the flag raising, the details that are involved, and it's really been something special, to be perfectly honest with you.
After 2 days of stroke play competition, Portmarnock -16, Durban -11, and Seminole -9. Those 3 clubs make the match play competition. St. George's and Wingfoot are locked in a playoff for the 4th spot.
Playoff will take place on the 17th hole. It's cumulative score. Both players' scores count in stroke play. Matt Hultquist, a 33-year-old, 1 handicap. He came out of that one and it's headed right into the huge dune, soft sand, immensely difficult second shot. An even lying little rut there. Matt couldn't advance it very far. He hit it into the native grasses and didn't advance that one very far either. He went on to make an 8 on this hole. Rob Christie, his partner, didn't fare much better, and I'm afraid to tell you what the cumulative score for Wingfoot was, because it might be in front of the handicap committee back home. But that's being said, Colin Flabby cozied this one up, tapped that one in for a par. St. George's move on to the match play quite handsomely and quite easily. Disappointing for Wingfoot to come so far and get so close.
So let's set the matches for the semifinals. Durban from South Africa versus Seminole from Florida in semifinal match number 1. Semifinal match number 2, Portmarnock from Ireland versus St. George's from Canada. Welcome back to the host side of the 2012 World Club Championship, Diamante in Cabo San Lucas, designed by U.S. Ryder Cup captain Davis Love.
Well, we'd love a piece of property that gave us some holes that were already there, that we could make a golf course that looked natural, that was already there. These days, it's hard to find a true piece of links land like Diamante. I think we'd rather have something that's more natural, that's something that we can work with and not have to force something into the piece of property.
It's probably one of the most scenic golf courses you're going to play any place, and I mean that when I say that, because I love to play beautiful golf courses. Pebble Beach, Cypress, those are 2 of my favorites in the States. Pine Valley, of course, because I'm a member there. But this golf course has so many scenic views. I mean, you almost get out there and you almost lose sight of the golf. You have a tendency to be standing up on these vistas and say, and every day you're doing this. And every day you're maybe seeing it from a different angle or something. Going, this is just spectacular. And you almost can get a little careless, and forget about your golf a little bit.
Well, when you walk out here, you just think all of a sudden you're in Ireland or Scotland in true links land. There's so many holes that were already here. It was so exciting. There was green sites everywhere. Every direction you looked, there was a hole going down that valley, and there was a green site on top of that hill. The dramatic dunes and the windswept links of Ireland and Scotland are really the only things you can compare this piece of property to.
I've never seen anything like the practice facility at Diamante, created by developer Ken Jowdy, who didn't like people watching him hit balls before he played. 4 private stone bays, 3 high-end golf balls to choose from, the Eagles playing rock music in the background, and then there's the slider bar, a favorite of traveling Joe Passoff, who knows a thing or two about eating.
I love to hit balls. This is one of the best ranges I've ever seen. The facilities here are wonderful.
I think it's one of the most fun places I've ever been to practice golf and to play golf.
Semifinal match number 1, Durban from the eastern coast of South Africa versus Seminole in Florida, the eastern coast of the United States. We pick up play at the second hole, a beautiful 220-yard downhill par 3 cut into the sand dunes.
And you really get the feeling of links golf on the second hole. It's a magnificent hole, no wind to speak of today, and the flag in a pretty accessible position on the right side of the green. Kelly Miller will lead off for Seminole. They're a great partnership, Kelly Miller and David Abel. They've played in every single World Club Championship, either for Pine Valley or Seminole.
Kelly is the club champion at Seminole, of course, the great golf course designed by Donald Ross, ranked number 23 in the world.
That's really good.
That's
Great
perfect.
shot.
That's going to be close.
That's close there.
And it is close. Kelly used the contours of the green. He now has this putt for birdie. They halved the first hole with birdies.
Pretty good. One time. Yeah, well
That
done.
moves Seminole into a one-up
the
lead
truck.
through the second hole. Seminole played brilliantly in this match. They never lost a hole. They were 8 under par on the 14th hole. And David rolled this one in. And that closed out
Thank you.
Durban. The defending champions are going home 5-4, and Seminole move on into the final, and Durban to the consolation match.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Enjoy that.
Jesus.
Semifinal match number 2 features the winner of the stroke play competition, Portmarnock from Ireland, and St. George's from Toronto, Canada. And we pick up at the 13th hole. It's a par 4. Here's Mark's second shot.
And Portmarnock need the early morning charge. I think they were all early in bed last night. They were really tired, the boys from Portmarnock. Mark's hit a wonderful shot there, coming back off the hillside. That one stone dead would be conceded, and now they are 5 up with 5 to go. St. George's Dormy 5. Mark with his third shot into the par 5 14th hole. And there's just no forgiveness. These guys from Canada are playing very, very nice golf.
And that sets the table for the final match. David Abel and Kelly Miller from Seminole versus Mark Elgner and Colin Flabby from St. George's. And David, all 40 players had a terrific time at Cabo San Lucas.
Cabo San Lucas ranks as one of the most popular resort destinations in North America. It's a natural wonderland where the desert meets the Pacific Ocean and the Sea of Cortez. The stunning surroundings of the blue Pacific and the stark desert provide an exhilarating isolation, punctuated by sporting activity, adventures on land and sea, and a host of indulgences. Endless beaches and grand resorts create a sense of another time and place. Simple pleasures, such as a sunset cruise, complement world-class golf, fishing excursions, shopping and fine dining. Scuba and snorkeling, off-road adventure, and more beckon you in Cabo San Lucas. Best of all, it's a destination where a distinctly casual atmosphere reflects an unhurried lifestyle. Welcome back to Cabo San Lucas and the beautiful Diamante, the 2012 World Club Championship Finals. Seminole from the United States take on St. George's from Canada. With the honor, St. George's and Mark Elgner stripes that one down the middle of the fairway confidently, and his partner Colin Flabby. Now let's spend a moment with Colin and Mark.
David and I are with Colin Flabby and Mark Elgner, the team from St. George's, the first team from Canada to make our finals. And we know a little bit about you as golfers, but we'd like to meet you a little bit more as people. So, Colin, let's start with you. First of all, we understand that you have a girlfriend.
Yeah, Francesca, she's great. I met her about 3 years ago, and then we started dating about 2.5 years ago, but she's great, really supportive of me and all this stuff, you know. I'm here in Cabo playing golf, and she's back home in the freezing cold weather working all day, but she's nothing but support, which is good to have in a girlfriend for sure.
Now, Mark, do you have a girlfriend, or are you a married man?
No girlfriend. I got married last year, and
Tegan's at home taking care of her brand new baby daughter, born 3 weeks ago.
And Mark, it's very interesting how very competitive you are in so many sports, but tell us a little bit. Basketball, baseball, hockey?
Yeah, growing up, my father got me into golf early and skiing early. And I was always an athlete. I played baseball when I was a kid and basketball in high school, and those faded away. And I play a little bit of hockey now during the week, and I just like to keep in shape.
We don't know much about David Abel, the person, and I think it would be interesting for you to share a little bit of background on your family.
I'm blessed to have a wonderful 19-year-old daughter who's actually in school in London and at University of London. And, you know, I guess so much of my life has been shaped around golf. You know, golf has always been kind of the part of the fabric of my life. And although, you know, I played a lot as a youngster, and it enabled me to literally travel the world for 20 years. I decided when I was about 14 or 15 years old, I wanted to live and work on every continent. And so I was able to really use golf as that vehicle to do it. So I spent, after college, about 17 years overseas.
Kelly, a lot of your life is dedicated to the game of golf, because not only do you play a lot of golf, you're a member of multiple clubs, you're the president at Pine Needles, and but what are the other interests you have in life, other hobbies?
A little bit of traveling, spending the time with the kids and watching their activities. Now they're old enough to do some activities with us. Love playing golf with my son, and then just being around the game. You know, the game, as we've said, it just puts you with great people, and I've been very fortunate to be able to play and also to have golf involved in my life on the business side.
Do you think you're a better team as two as opposed to individual players? Do you think the two of you together makes a more formidable force?
If you look back over the last 10 years, everybody who plays with Kelly is a better team. You know, I mean,
What a compliment.
I mean, it is true. I mean, you know, knowing that, because, you know, I hit first, and, you know, even, you know, because you know that Kelly is just going to be in every hole.
Well, I know Terry's rooting for you today. And
Yes, well, David's still full of himself over the Ryder Cup matches here. So I'm gonna root hard for the Americans today. Though in the sport of golf, I think we all would agree. Just may the best team win.
And I think I'm picking St. George's today. This is Colin Flabby. He's the 3-time match play champion at St. George's. He won the 2012 stroke play champion, so he's got it cornered from all sides. He's a +3 handicap. Going for this in 2, drawing it around the tree. A reachable par 5 first hole. A very nice, comfortable start for the team from St. George's. I'll give him a shot at eagle. Nice. But I think Seminole are going to need birdie at best to tie this hole. So Colin putted his eagle putt up here, and he now has this to win the hole and take a 1-up lead on Seminole.
Birdie there.
Georges wins the hole in 4 and is 1 up.
Welcome back to the 2012 World Club Championship final matches and the magnificent Diamante Dunes Residence Clubhouse.
We pick up coverage at the 4th hole. St. George's is still 1 up. Mark first to play, short, somewhat downhill par 4.
And very drivable today. David Bonsall, who's the chairman of our rules committee and responsible for the course setup, has done a great job this week. Mark's taken the aggressive line down the right side. Might have pulled it a little bit, yeah, but not too bad at all. Put a little pressure on our friends from Seminole.
No, I mean,
Somewhere up there.
somewhere.
Playing for Seminole will be David Abel. He's also playing a 3-wood.
David Abel can flat play this game. He broke Greg Norman's course record at the Medalist. He shot 63, and that record stood until Tiger Woods showed up and shot 62 just a few months ago. Good aggressive swing. Seems like a better line, that one. Remember, a par 4, he hit 3-wood. It's downwind today.
Wow.
Funnels it round. Wow, and that nearly went in for In England, we call that an albatross. But I think it's a double eagle.
Double
here.
eagle, yes. Either way, it's a 2 under par on a par 4. Moving ahead on the golf course to pick up coverage of the consolation match, Portmarnock versus Durban. We get to the 16th hole, wonderful par 3, which plays back in toward the Pacific Ocean.
And Davis Love, when he built this hole, didn't move a thing on this green. He just rode around in his tractor and planted the grass. And Portmarnock seemed to have got their energy back today. They really were flagging yesterday in the heat, exhaustion from playing so much golf. And remember, John Green doesn't play golf for a living. He's an amateur.
Portmarnock 1 up at this point.
And again, a wonderful golf shot from Mr. Green. Nestled in nicely, put some pressure on. I think our defending champions, they've already lost the grasp of the trophy, but he may be going home in 4th position, particularly if John Green can roll this one in. A bold putt, nicely in the hole. So nice to see those Irishmen wearing those caps. Christy O'Connor, if you remember, used to made that cap very famous. Christy O'Connor Jr., that would be.
So they go 2 up, and we return back to the final match. This is the 5th hole. Kelly Miller playing on this wonderful par 3 hole.
Kelly's golf swing has got a little shorter over the 10 years we've been watching him in the World Club Championships. He's also got slightly wider girth, but he can still play. What a wonderful shot from Kelly Miller.
That was an 8-iron played by Kelly. Next to play will be Colin. He's going to go at this with a 9-iron.
Colin's girlfriend Francesca, I'm sure, is tuned in here watching her young stud make his way around the golf course. And a nice reply from Colin. I wonder if Colin's got the same ideas for Christmas as Rory McIlroy has in when he's choosing his gift for Caroline over Francesca.
This for a birdie.
Oh, well done, Colin Flabby. Well done, indeed. Colin's really holding this team together. He birdied the 1st hole, and now he's got a birdie at the 5th hole.
So this is Kelly for a birdie. Keep in mind, David Abel eagled the hole before, so this would be eagle, birdie.
Kelly. Well done.
So let's learn more about Diamante, starting with our friend Joe Passoff, chairman of the Golf Magazine Top 100 Golf Courses in the World panel.
I think folks who didn't know about Diamante before were pretty surprised to see a brand new course show up at number 58 in the world on Golf Magazine's Top 100 list. Well, you have to come to Diamante to see why it finished 58th. It satisfies so many of the requirements of greatness. You start with mind-blowing aesthetics. The Pacific Ocean back there, some of the most gigantic white sand dunes you've ever seen. The reason why it rose to 58 is that our panelists found the huge number of individually memorable holes, the stuff that will linger with you long after you've left the property. I start with the 11th hole, which is an uphill par 3. You get up to the green, pretty challenging shot, and you peer over the hugest, whitest beach you've ever seen, and the Pacific Ocean out there. My favorite, though, is the 17th, a par 5 that is unlike anything you've ever seen. You try to think, is it Ireland? Is it Scotland? Where have I seen this? You've never seen it.
It was a top 100 piece of property before we got here, and I'm glad that we got it halfway up there. And hopefully, as the course gains some notoriety, people play it, we do some tweaks to it, we can move up in that ranking.
We rejoin the final match competition at the 6th hole. It's a par 5. This is marked for a short birdie.
Oh, and that butterfly came down at the most inopportune moment. His shadow deflected Mark's attention. He missed a 12-inch putt, and that puts them 1 down in the match. That's a pivotal point, I think. And look at that butterfly shadow. Just as he's stroking the ball, decelerates. There the ball looks in the hole and decides that's not where I'm going. Sorry. And they missed the putt, 12 inches. That might come back to haunt them. And now we have David Abel on the par 3 7th, another magnificent par 3 at Diamante. Great, great collection of par 3s and par 5s. David uses the contours. David hasn't played golf for 15 months before this event. He was out with shoulder surgery after last year's World Club Championship. And he's got that about 15 feet below the flag for a birdie.
David played a 3 hybrid. This is Mark, and he's got a 5-iron again, 230 yards.
I think this is another example of youth over age, 5-iron over 3 metal, and he's taking dead aim at it. Doesn't need the contours. A wonderful response from St. George's. Well played, Mark. Now, David trying to finish what he started after his tee shot. Got this for his third 2 for his team. And yes, rolls it in. That's 3 2s in the first 7 holes and 7 all, a 5 under par through 7 holes. And St. George's is still hanging on.
I wasn't sure if that was going to stay up.
Well, what a good response after missing that little tiddler on number 6 from 12 inches with the Madam Butterfly.
Good putt.
Mark knocks that in, and well done, St. George's.
All right, after taking an early lead, St. George's has now fallen 1 down after the 7th hole.
Yeoman and Stubbe, the timepiece of golf, combining tradition and innovation. Swiss master watchmakers create the movement and golf counter complication of every Yeoman and Stubbe watch in the tradition of the 19th century. The champions of the World Club Championship receive a set of Yeoman and Stubbe cufflinks. Yeoman and Stubbe, proud partners of the World Club Championship. Welcome back to the 2012 World Club Championship final matches. A fantastic week here of weather, little or no wind, just paradise to play golf. And if you don't like this, you don't like vanilla. This is as good as it gets anywhere in the world. We rejoin action on the 11th hole. Seminole won the 10th to go 2 up. David Abel with a 4-iron on this magnificent par 3 hole, perched out on the top of the dune. It's about a 3 club green, this, from the front to the back. Perfect conditions.
200 yards, as you say, David, but it is a bit of an uphill shot. Normally, I don't think too much about uphill par 3s, but this is a magnificent hole. Great fun to play with fascinating views. Next to play is Colin for St. George's, and he also is going to play a 4-iron.
Yeah, and David half a club short, but Colin's a little longer than David with his irons. Colin's been in his pocket most of the front 9. And that's hanging on to the right, and it's on the not on the beach, almost on the beach. If that ball went 6 inches further, it would be 40 feet below the surface of the green. But he hung up there on the native grasses. And here you see the beach on the right side of the 11th hole, which is where the new 12th and 13th hole will be developed in the next couple of months. The existing 12th and 13th holes will be taken out of play. The new 12 and 13 holes will be a par 5 going to the ocean and a par 4 coming back, and really is going to help Diamante improve its rankings in the top 100.
Colin's second shot.
He's going to have to manufacture something special here. He's a good athlete, Colin. He's a hockey player, a boxer.
Great shot, Colin.
A nice imagination there around the green.
And hockey and boxing are 2 sports that David Abel would know little about, and yet this is his putt for a par for Seminole.
Hole half in 3. Seminole remains 2 up.
David and I are behind the 11th green here as the final match has just departed, and Seminole is 2 up, but there seems to be kind of a mood, a feeling about the match that's very discernible, don't you think?
It is, and St. George's have no energy. They've got no enthusiasm. They've got no momentum, so they're just hanging on by their fingernails, and Kelly and David, it's like they're out in Cabo San Lucas, an afternoon stroll, give me a couple of Coronas or a margarita, and we're going to win this thing for Seminole, hands down. So unless the boys from St. George's really quickly, maybe in the next 2 holes, get one back, I see them petering out and David and Kelly waltzing off to a victory. And frankly, that was your pick, it wasn't mine, and you're looking the favorite right now.
Well, 7 holes left to play. Here we are at the 12th. It's a par 5. This is a 3rd shot, chipping for an eagle for Mark.
Needs to cozy this one up tight. Made a nice effort.
Oh, great shot.
Well done. Rolls it just by, so that putt will be conceded for a birdie.
So Seminole is 1 up through 12th, the match tightly poised. Now let's hear from the founder of Diamante, Ken Jowdy, talking about the honor of being in the top 100, great news about the Tiger Woods golf course, and his vision for Diamante in the future.
We've gotten this honor now, and it's a great honor. I think that we have to continue to improve the golf course for our members. And in doing so, we hope to be able to rise up the top 100. But that's our goal. Without this, none of the other things that we're planning could happen. And we owe it to Davis and his team for doing such a great job. When we found out that we actually had the opportunity to have Tiger involved, it's something that for me, I just wanted to make sure that he was going to be passionate about what he's doing. I mean, he doesn't need to be designing golf courses. He certainly doesn't need Diamante. He certainly doesn't need me to have the opportunity to do that. He needs to want to do it. And he truly does. His team of Brian Bell and his designers of Bo and Shane have been great to work with. But you really get the sense that Tiger's passionate about this part of the business, and it means a lot to him. Which, when you have the opportunity to join with someone like that, and he's passionate about it, it's something you really can't pass up. But in saying that, to be a true community, we have to have something for everyone. Not everyone plays golf, and we want people to. The important thing is to have this be a community and be a lifestyle. So we have a 10-acre lagoon that we're building. We're building a spa, a fitness center. We're doing other things with other amenities on the beach and health and wellness. So it really needs to be a full community, and I think that we're well on our way. We've taken a lot of different things that we've liked in the different places around the world and tried to take the best of them and put them here, put a little Diamante characteristics to it to try to make it as good as we can.
Well, we're sure Diamante is destined for greatness with great plans ahead, and here we have the 14th hole, an uphill par 5, 600 yards, carved out through the dunes. That dune on the right is Jowdy's dune, because Ken Jowdy hits it right off this tee every time we play, with an elevated green, wonderful hole locations, and there you see the beach where the new 12th and 13th hole will be just in a few months' time. Diamante is something very special. And we pick up the action on the 14th hole. David Abel, hitting his third shot, had to lay up. The narrow green entrance causes a layup a long way back. He's 160 yards from the hole, ball below his feet. 6 iron. Ooh, and that was a little bit of a dip and dig sort of swing, but maybe he's got away with it. Yes, he has. He's hit it over the top of the flag, 20 feet above the hole, but a pretty tricky putt with a lot of break from left to right as the grain takes the ball to the ocean.
Playing now for St. George's, Mark's got 86 yards. He's playing it with a 60-degree wedge.
Still very much a one-man team. He keeps making phone calls for Colin to come back, but he doesn't seem to be answering.
Go. Get up.
What a good response from Mark. He really is captaining this team well, and I know Colin's going to come back soon, but it's just a question of is it sooner rather than later. So with that putt is conceded to St. George's. It leaves David Abel with this tricky downhill putt, having to make to half the hole to remain 1 up. The grain took that immediately off the putter face, and in cricket we call that a wide. That means more than 3 feet wide of the stumps.
St. George's wins the 14th hole. The match goes all square.
Hola and welcome back to the World Club Championship.
The final match is at the 15th hole. This is Mark putting for a birdie. He has made a birdie at the 12th, a birdie at the 14th, and this is a birdie attempt at the par 4 15th.
Great par 4 with the infinity green setting with the backdrop of the Pacific Ocean. It's a quick putt, down grain. Can really get away from you this one.
And his partner Colin is in his pocket, David, so that is not a cinch for a par.
There's young Ruben watching on. I think he's a little less nervous than he was 3 or 4 days ago. And now Kelly, also like David with the long putter anchored in his chest.
Is also for a birdie. the ocean over there, that ball just runs and runs down grain, isn't it?
Yeah, it's paspalum grass, and it does have a lot of grain. They certainly don't experience that in Canada. Kelly, of course, playing in Florida on Bermuda greens, will experience that. And there's Ken Jowdy, the founder of Diamante, watching on anxiously. I'm sure he would prefer to be out there playing, but his golf skills aren't quite up to those of the World Club Championship players just yet.
Okay, critical putt. Mark for a par, match all square.
Advantage Seminole, so Mr. Miller strides up confidently, places his ball down. Kelly's got some superstitions on how he marks the ball, but I think we should just keep those privately for now. But he's got this about 3.5 feet. He is a very good putter. We make some fun about his jabby or proddy type of stroke, but he's a very, very fine putter, and of course a great player. And strokes that in like there's nothing. So well done, Seminole. Kelly wins the hole with a par 4, which is pretty surprising in better ball format. So they move ahead to the 16th hole with Seminole 1 up.
16 is a par 3, playing at 138 yards. There's very little wind, as you can see there. Actually, the ocean is behind this green. First to play for Seminole is David Abel. He's got an 8-iron.
Yeah, this back nine at Diamante is really something very special. You've got Amen Corner at Augusta and great runs of holes in golf, but 15, 16, 17, 18 at Diamante are really, really, really just world-class holes. And here's David. Advantage Seminole at the moment. They've got age, they've got experience, and they've got a 1-up lead.
It's true that David Abel always plays first in this team. David, there's very interesting strategy about who goes first, but they're very comfortable with David playing first.
They're just very relaxed. I mean, it's almost, as I said earlier on, they just feel comfortable within their games. I think they feel privileged to be in this position. They didn't come in this week thinking they were going to be in the final, with David being out for 15 months and all these young guns coming from all around the world, some of them playing full-time college golf and the like. And here's Kelly, who plays full-time president at Pine Needles.
Worth saying, they're both 53, and they're going strong here.
Kelly's got a compact swing, I think, wouldn't you say about Kelly's swing, but it very, very workable and a wonderful shot.
Mark will play first for St. George's, as he tends to do, and he has a golf equipment company, sort of a fitting company for equipment. The equipment he'll use here is an 8-iron.
It's a nice compact swing in the wind.
Saddle.
Swings it off a little bit, just over the green.
Yeah, but it's really, with Seminole with 2 bites at the cherry, or the apple, here we need Colin perhaps to step up. I know Joe and Laura's mum and dad are back in Canada rooting him on. He still lives at home, and he's trying and trying and grinding and grinding. He's a heck of a competitor, but some days you just don't have it. In this final match, he didn't have it. He had it earlier in the week, but his swing has lost him. Hung that one out to the right. Frustrating as it may be, I'm sure he's still having a memorable week, and he's doing everybody proud.
So, David, the news here at Diamante just gets better with the actual announcement of Tiger Woods' new golf course.
Yes, construction has started on El Cardinal, and Tiger Woods has been on property 2 or 3 times already. Earth is moving, and Tiger has some thoughts on his design philosophies and plans for his golf course at Diamante.
El Cardinal is coming around. It's shaped a few holes out there, made a few adjustments, but the holes down on the dunes and the holes playing up and through the arroyos up top, and then the amazing views from 15, 16, 17, 18 are just spectacular. I've always wanted to be in the golf course design business. I wanted to play all around the world before I got into it, and to see what all the different golf courses and all the different types of styles of golf that is played around the world, and I literally have played on every continent except for Antarctica. Not too many courses in Antarctica, so I literally have played on every continent. So I thought that was important to be able to experience that before I got into the design business, so that I had a better understanding of what to bring to the table to deliver a product that players can enjoy for multi-generations. And that's what we're trying to do, and I'm having a great time doing it.
Back to the 16th green here for the final match, and I just have to say, with this fabulous Davis Love golf course coupled with the new Tiger Woods golf course, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to want to come and check this place out.
And remember, you have another top 100 golf course in Cabo del Sol, just 20 minutes down the road from Diamante. Back to the action. Here's Mark Elgner with a birdie putt. Oh, what a wonderful time to make a birdie. That is some golfing, Mark Elgner. Well done. Seminole now. 2 opportunities to half the hole, but a birdie 2 first in is going to put the pressure back on Seminole. Colin looking very relieved that he's got his man on the bag. By the way, Mark Elgner was a late substitution for Craig Sinclair, who got hurt. There you see the birdie going again, but Craig got hurt 2 weeks before the event, and Colin Flabby picked up the phone and called in the cavalry, and along came Mark Elgner, and he's done very, very well. So we're back now with Kelly Miller having to make this for a half in 2, a birdie 2 on number 16.
To remain 1 up. Matched in birdies, good stuff.
Hole half in 2, Seminole remains 1 up.
Wow. Nice putt.
Nice.
Welcome back to the 2012 World Club Championship, the crashing waves of the Pacific Ocean on the beach that Brad Pitt made the movie Troy. And here we have John Green from Portmarnock to win the match on the 18th and get that coveted invitation as 3rd place back to the World Club Championship next year. So that one rolls by, and it leaves Ryan Burney now on the stage all alone. Sean unfortunately hooked it into the desert, so he's in pocket. Jeff Lanahan, who loves to listen to gangster rap, also is in his pocket. So Ryan needs this to extend the match, to win the hole and go into sudden death. Remember, if he misses this, Portmarnock come back next year. A very weak effort, I'm afraid, by Mr. Burney, but congratulations, a good week.
And we turn our attention back to the final match at the 17th hole, Dave, and let's take a look at it.
One of the greatest par 5s in golf, 530 yards. The key here is both the St. George's players can reach the green in 2, as can David Abel, but I don't think Kelly Miller can get up there today. David Bonzel's done a great job with the hole location again, and also the placement of the tees. So here we pick up Kelly. He's hit a good drive, but he didn't get the benefit of getting over the dip in the fairway and getting another 40 or 50 yards of run, so he's forced to lay up, which really makes it 2 against 1, because for sure a 4 is going to win this hole.
Kelly's trying to play for a length, a leave for a 3rd shot. And just in the grass there, but a very good angle back at the pin.
And a good leave of something a little less than 100 yards for Kelly, so he's not out of the hole yet, but we know that both of these players from St. George's can get up in 2. First to play will be Mark Elgner, and Mark is going with a 3 hybrid, 221 yards up the hill. And I think it's fair to say that if he puts this on the green or in the vicinity of the green, there'll be a little bit of pressure on the shoulders of the senior David Abel. Started up on the right line, and the ball really does swing off the hillside. And well done, well done.
Next to play for Seminole is David Abel. He has 212 yards, and he also is playing a 3 hybrid. That green is elevated about 40-45 feet from the base of the fairway.
He's staring that down, made a very good swing. This should release onto the green. But it hasn't. It's held up in the Paspalum grass above there. He's got a very, very difficult pitch shot, and the short game is not David Abel's best friend, that is for sure. So as we move over now to Colin Flabby, we've got his partner Mark on the green in 2. David Abel short and left with a difficult chip shot. Unlikely he can get it up and down. And Kelly Miller has also laid up in 2. So here's Colin with a 6-iron after a 324-yard drive.
Shot, Colin.
And it's nice to see Colin back in the game. So 2 balls on the green for St. George's. Kelly Miller short in 2. David Abel with a difficult chip.
You ready?
Here we go with Kelly, who's set it to his favorite distance. He's got a pitching wedge from 95 yards, working together with his caddy from Diamante, Jorge. Caddies at Diamante have just been great all week. Using the contours very, very nice. I'm not sure it was intentional. But
look out!
It's in.
How about that, huh? Wow. Something to be said for short. Is that amazing?
Great job, Mr. Miller. Well done.
I'll walk back up there.
What a great moment. 2 great friends, 2 great partners. Kelly has held out for an eagle here at the 17th, I should say.
It was also nice to see the team from St. George's applauding that ball as it went in the hole. Perhaps put the nail in their coffin, and that means that Seminole will be the champions. But there's Kelly picking the ball out of the hole. And David Abel awfully happy he didn't have to hit that chip shot, that's for sure. And here you see it again. Destined to be, destined to be.
So Seminole makes an eagle here at the 17th hole, and now both Colin and Mark have eagle putts. But if one of these 2 balls don't go down, the match is over.
They've got to control their emotions right now. They've got to come back down to earth. 5 minutes ago, they're thinking, get it all square and win 18 and we can win this thing. Now they've got a hole 1 of 2 from 30 feet respectively to stay in this thing. Close, but not close enough, I'm afraid, for Colin. So he will be conceded a birdie, but that won't be good enough, and we're now left with a very, very simple scenario. Mark makes this, and we extend the match. He misses, and Seminole are the 2012 champions.
And it's worth saying that St. George's has had 7 birdies so far, and Mark has birdied 12 and 14, the 2 par 5s on the back side, but this is for an eagle.
Never in doubt, never looked like missing.
Great stuff. Back-to-back birdies at 16, back-to-back eagles at 17.
And what's so great is that putt went in. Kelly Miller was the one pumping his fist, congratulating him. Only in the amateur game of golf do you see your opponent clapping and congratulating you. What a great delight. There you see Kelly there. The ball goes in, and he's as happy as Mark.
They head to the 18th tee. We'll be back for the final hole of the final match.
Welcome back to the 2012 World Club Championship presented by Golf Magazine and contested for the Jay Lee Trophy. Jay is the founding patron of the World Club Championship, and without him, we would not have this event. We'll be returning next year in 2013 to Jay's 9 Bridges on Jeju Island, and Jay will be on hand to present the winner's trophy once again.
The final match of the 2012 championship has come down to the 18th hole, par 4, dogleg left.
And key is line off the tee. The farther left you hit it, the easier shot you have into the green. If you hit it down the right side of the fairway, you're left with a 3-metal hybrid club into a very, very challenging green. So here we have first to play one David Abel. They've really done very, very well together, David and Kelly. Kelly has played beautifully in the last 4 or 5 holes, and David kept them in the game for the first 12 or 13 holes. Line right on the edge of this clubhouse.
Together they've made 5 birdies and 2 eagles.
And David's hit that a little farther right than he wanted. He's not too dissatisfied, but ball in play, and that's never a bad thing on the last hole. And now we have the hero of the moment, Mr. Kelly Miller. He's also had a great week. He's got to be tired. There's a lot of golf they've played in the last 6 or 7 days. Not only physically, but also mentally, and it's been warm. Oh, he's come out of that one. That flailed that one off to the right. It's going to be in play, but a long, long way from the green.
All right, isn't it? Huh? It's fairway, isn't it?
The choice of here at this tee shot, as you mentioned, is how much do you want to cut off, and the bend of the elbow there is about 250 yards if you take it over the soror that's right at the bend. Otherwise, you have to play to the right.
Mark's got to try to get his emotions in check, as he's had such a wonderful run of golf with birdies and eagles. Of course, his great putt on the last hole to keep them in the match. So a few deep breaths. And a very, very fine swing. Striped it down the fairway.
You're good.
You know, that golf course in Canada was designed by Stanley Thompson. He was known as the Toronto Terror because of his great thirst, sense of humor, and out-of-control spending. So they come from a wonderful golf course, and now representing that great golf course, Colin, who's just saying, please let me get one in the fairway. Oh, he's swung that so quickly. Snap hooked it, I'm afraid, into the desert.
Which leaves a 2-on-1 situation again. 2 players still standing from Seminole and 1 from St. George's. Well, the players have certainly enjoyed their experience at Diamante this week, and new course designer Tiger Woods is looking forward to spending some quality time here as well.
I would love to spend as much time as I possibly can here. This is so much fun. I'm going to have a home here and spend as much time as I possibly can. It's a great family place to come out. All the different amenities. For me, the diving here that they have offshore and the fishing is just absolutely incredible, and everything's so self-contained. It's the best of all worlds.
So Colin has found the golf ball, but not his, so he dismissively pitches it into the bushes, and so he's in his pocket. 3 players left to play. This is Kelly Miller, 243 yards from the green. Does play downhill a little bit, and it's a 3 hybrid.
He made a good swing there, very good swing, and he likes it.
Just settles just short of the green there. It'll be a very easy pitch shot.
Just short.
This is David Abel, 227 yards, also with a 3 hybrid.
This shot is custom made for David Abel's eye and his golf swing. A draw down the right-hand side. He might have left that just a little bit right, trying to avoid going into the desert, which he has, but still not a bad leave. I think certainly with Kelly where he is and David there, I think 4 is a safe score for Seminole.
If you want
So
to,
now
yeah,
we
go
move
ahead.
over to Mark, who's on his own again.
202 yards, 3 iron, last man standing for St. George's.
And Mark Elkner needs one of his Sunday bests here. He's played beautifully all week. Will have great memories to take back to Canada. And he's come out of that one, hung it off to the right. In the normal circumstance, it wouldn't be a bad lead, but St. George's need a 3, with Seminole looking like a lock on a 4 with the 1-up lead. It's not looking good for St. George's to take that trophy back to Toronto.
Uh. 2012 World Club Championship final match, 18th hole. Seminole with Kelly Miller and David Abel are 1-up. This is Kelly Miller's 3rd shot.
I think really the mission here for Seminole is to somehow between the two of them to just get a 4, because 4 is going to be good enough for them to take the trophy back to Juno Beach. Kelly has elected to use the putter from off the green. It's fully 70 feet from the hole. Very, very difficult to get the pace right on this putt. Case in point, it's up the hill, and that's come up woefully short.
He may have mishit that putt.
Sometimes it's difficult with those long putters to get the ball out of the middle of the club, so disappointing for Kelly, but it's not all over yet. We've got his friend David Abel, who is not the wizard of the short game that Kelly Miller is, so my guess is that David will also go with something that trundles along the ground towards the hole. I don't think you're going to see any 60-degree lob wedges here.
No, we've seen this team from Seminole use putters off the green all week long, and this is not so easy to judge. He's got what, 15 or 20 feet of fairway before it gets to the green surface.
Yes, and this is really the key difference between the tour players and the amateur golfers. These fellas all strike the ball very, very well, but the short game is something which really separates the tour from the amateurs. So here's David. It's going down grain, this one, so it'll be a little quicker.
That was certainly hit solidly.
Yeah, that was a very good stroke. But it's run down the grain to 5 or 6 feet by, so here we have Seminole with 2 balls, one 6 feet away, one 15 feet away, and Mark Elgner now sitting on the side of the green, and a 4 could be good enough to win this hole and take us into sudden death.
Yes, but it's worth reminding that Mark's partner, Colin Flabby, is in his pocket, so it's all of it is on Mark's shoulder at this point. But it does introduce the question that a par may in fact win, and you don't often beat Seminole with a par.
Particularly with all the birdies and eagles we've seen in the last 18 holes.
Well, Seminole's made 5 birdies and 2 eagles, and St. George's has made 7 birdies in the first 17 holes and an eagle.
So here's Mark Elgner. I think you won't see that one race by. I would take 4 now if I was St. George's. Dead weight putting.
Oh, this is really well done. Very well done.
That will be conceded for 4.
It is conceded indeed. So St. George's has its par. Very nobly played, Mark. Very well done.
And congratulations between Mark and Colin. They're good buddies on and off the golf course, so they've had a heck of a week. So now it's all up to Kelly Miller and David Abel. One of these to hole, and there you see the caddier Javier Lopez working with Kelly Miller, been with them all week, one of the Diamante caddies. And the whole golf operation at Diamante is first class, from the golf service to the caddy program. There's just really none better that I've ever seen in the world.
Okay, so Seminole needs one of these 2 putts in. Kelly Miller in the last 3 holes preceding this has made the clutch par putt at 15, he made the birdie at 16, and he held out for an eagle at 17. So match is on his shoulders at the moment. 18th hole for a par and a win.
And just like that. Where are the hard holes, he says. Seminole 2012 World Club Championships. Congratulations, David Abel and Kelly Miller.
Thank you very much. Well played. David, very excellent play. Terrific.
Congratulations there from David Bonzel, our championship rules chairman. David did a wonderful job setting up the golf course this week and officiating. We appreciate that. And here's one more look at the final putt. Clinched the championship and the J. Lee Trophy for Seminole. Kelly Miller, such a wonderful man. And here's Terry with our losing finalists.
So, Mark and Colin, you both have played enough athletics in your life to know that anything can happen in sports. And this didn't end the way quite that you wanted it to, but it was, I think, a memorable, lifetime memorable experience. But tell us a little bit about what you thought when you understood that Kelly's ball went in the hole at 17.
I was walking up with Dave, and we couldn't see his shot, and we were behind a dune, and then the crowd sort of got louder and louder, and then all of a sudden it went in, and I looked at Dave, and he looked at me, and I think he was shocked, and I gave him a good congrats, and it was a great shot.
In the context that few of us have ever seen back-to-back eagles on a hole, tell us a little bit about your thought process and your putt.
Well, I walked to the side of the green and collected myself a bit, and realized I still have a putt to have the hole. And Colin hit a great putt, just left it short. And I don't know, I put a good stroke on it, and I look up and it was going right in, and it went in. So
You'll probably never forget that your entire...
I won't forget that. It was a good putt.
Certainly was. And Colin, you played beautifully really during the competition today. Wasn't quite your day, but hopefully it was a fascinating experience and maybe even life-changing in some way.
Yeah, it was a great experience. I mean, this can't be beat at all. I mean, just to make it this far, to get to the semis and then the finals. I mean, I played in it last year and we missed the semis by a shot, and it's just great to be here. I mean, with all the people cheering you on, even though I wasn't playing my best, everyone was coming, just keep going. And I kept going the wrong way, but that's all right. It happens.
You did, but at the end of the day, you were pretty great partners for the week. And we'd like to just congratulate you and thank you for your great play, your courage under pressure, and your sportsmanship. You're a great tribute to your family and your club in Canada, and it's been a real honor to have you compete here in the World Club Championship.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us here.
And there's the confirmation of the final result in the 2012 World Club Championship presented by Golf Magazine. Seminole, a one-up winner over St. George's in Canada. And I'll be back in a moment with an interview with the champions. Welcome back to the beautiful Diamante and the new Dunes Residence Clubhouse, where Chef Izzy and his team have done a wonderful job all week with great local fare. And the sun sets over the Pacific Ocean in Cabo San Lucas. What a place. And Royal Troon will join Seminole, St. George's and Port Marnock next year, and Paul Mutri there from Troon got so excited he left his clubs in Mexico and went back to Scotland.
So finally we make our way to the closing ceremonies and David's interview with the champions.
We had a terrific championship this year, and as it was been said before, we couldn't have scripted it any better. It was absolutely high drama to the very end. And unfortunately, for our great friends from St. George's Golf and Country Club in Canada, there wasn't much that was going to stop Kelly Miller and David Abel this week. So with that said, I'd like you all to give a great round of applause to our 2012 World Club Champions from Seminole Golf Club in Florida, Mr. David Abel and Mr. Kelly Miller. Well, David and Kelly, here we are again. I don't think you thought you'd be standing here this evening as champions once again.
We had great plans for Thursday afternoon in Cabo, but some good golf. David played terrific, and we were very fortunate, and what a great week. Terrific week.
Well, we had an extraordinary finish with birdies on 16, eagle on 17, and one of the things I thought was particularly of note on 17, when you'd hold your third shot for an eagle, everyone was applauding, including the team from St. George's.
Yeah, absolutely. Today's match was fantastic, and to Mark and Colin, that was a fantastic and memorable day of golf, and so thanks for that. But this tournament really represents, as we said earlier, all what's good about amateur golf and the game itself. So we had a great day.
So Kelly, you've been around the world, you've played a lot of golf and a lot of amateur events. How does this championship and how does this week rank as you reflect?
I mean, this is spectacular. I mean, as we've spoke, the camaraderie with all these guys. It's neat to see so many friends from around in the past that we've met, and then of course what Ken Jowdy and the folks here at Diamante have done. I mean, this is just one remarkable place. It's a magic place in golf. And Ken, congratulations to you and to the folks from Cabo here. Have really made us feel like really made us feel at home.
And finally, to you, David, you've been out of the game for 15 months now with a shoulder injury. And you said when you arrived here this week, this was going to be your swan song. But I guess now as champions, we're going to see you one more time.
Well, I hope so. And, any time that Kelly invites me to go play as his partner, I'm going to be there. And I think as everybody, there's really kind of a small story. We have two nicknames for Kelly. One, we call him the blanket because he always has you covered. And we call him Ice Cold Kelly Miller. And I think what everyone saw on 15, 16, 17, 18, it's a very deserved nickname.
Well, I wouldn't have been there without the way David played in the front side. I would have been long closed out. Abe played great this week. He is he's the driving machine and the playing machine. So, and my wingman. So we'll be here as long as we can.
Well, Kelly and David, thank you so much. You're a tribute to this championship, your club, your country, and we love having you here, and you're always welcome.
Thanks, David. Thanks for a great week.
And so the 2012 World Club Championship comes to an end as the fire dancers entertain the clubs from around the world. We'd like to thank all the competitors this year. We'd also like to thank Diamante and make mention of something very special they do. They've picked two charities that they specifically support. One of them is the Special Operations Warrior Foundation that provides scholarships and education and counseling to surviving children of Special Operations personnel, and also immediate financial assistance to those wounded in Special Operation activities. It's a really beautiful gesture by Diamante, and we congratulate and thank them for that.
The second charity is very close to the heart of Diamante founder Ken Jowdy. He started here as a camp counselor 25 years ago, and that charity is Camp Sunshine. Camp Sunshine provides respite, support, joy, and hope to children with life-threatening illnesses and their immediate families. So it's adios from Cabo San Lucas and Diamante in Mexico, and we look forward to seeing you at the club at Nine Bridges in 2013 for the next World Club Championship.